This episode of Business Anatomy is brought to you by Bear.
I was 20 years old and I met someone who had a roofing and restoration company. And he just asked me if I wanted to restore a Victorian down in downtown San Diego. And I jumped at it because it was something different and I loved every minute of it.
You know, we're over that $1 million point. Well, we're well over $1 million.
Okay, we're at 300% of our first year goal, and our first year goal was $1 million. So she's underestimating.
So there was an ad in the newspaper for hiring for a wallpaper girl, someone to sell wallpaper. And I thought, wow, I hope I get a discount from that store because I'd really like to have some wallpaper. And that's how it all started.
I worked with a paint manufacturer for 8 years. I had taken a couple years off of the paint industry. I decided to get into insurance for a few years. My mom, however, was still in the paint industry. And I had dabbled in it a little bit between two insurance careers, but it wasn't fulfilling.
I had no intentions of joining the family business. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I went to college and graduate school to not be in the family business. Moved away, worked for corporate America in the early 2000s. My dad flew from Denver to DC. We were sitting on a wall in the Potomac, and he came back and wanted to know what my intentions, my longevity was. And I remember really thinking about it and making the decision to move back to Colorado after that point. My expectations coming back were that I would come in and have a lens of how could I professionalize the family business. I was repeatedly reminded that it was really a gift that I, could take a company. It wasn't like a startup. I didn't have to build it from the ground up and take that and grow it to something much grander. There's kind of this understanding that's not spoken that don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. My dad built the company to be a lifestyle company. It afforded him a good quality of life, those around him. While it's afforded me a quality of life, I have more than doubled the company and I've taken it where my goals are different and it's on a different growth plan and trajectory.
A successful owner, you're going to be managing people, you're going to be purchasing, you're going to be paying bills, you're going to be doing like everything. You have to understand how the industry works. You have to understand how much work can be done in a day. How much manpower is it going to take to get a job done? It is every little piece to this you will have your hands in. There won't be anything that you're not doing.
You put a lot into it, but you get a lot back from it. So there's a lot of upfront work. The relationships, getting all of the jobs, that's a lot of work up front.
You're going to estimate and estimate and estimate and estimate and estimate, and you're going to follow up and follow up and follow up, and you're going to hire and hire and hire, and it is a lot of work, but at all levels, very satisfying.
I like hard work. In the first year, we were 1.5 million, and now we're doing $3 million a year. Because I've been around a long time and I have a good reputation, a lot of my work is negotiated work. And a lot of the people who are contractors now are people who I worked with in the field, 30, 40 years ago.
When we get a job or we leave a meeting, we're like skipping on the way out. It's fun. It's fun to go in with your mom and, have conversations with people, learn. It's really relationship building, right? We're building relationships with everyone. And at the end of the day, I love people. I love learning about people, what makes them think and how they think. And at the end of a meeting, when someone says, wow, that was a great meeting, I'm like, wow, that was a great meeting.
I have learned over the years that culture is critical. You want to create space where people can succeed, and it's really creating competition and recognition within and having a set of values and morals, and it all kind of comes together. We got a bell. I think it's a Marine bell. I don't care where you are in the office or who it is. You could be anywhere, you can hear the bell. Everybody comes out and they celebrate and they high five and what was the win, and immediately like, what's the value of it? What's this gonna add? And the competition comes out, but it's little ways that make it fun. We all laugh, it's engaging, it gets people out of the office, and the person who gets to ring it celebrates, and we all celebrate with them.
Doing this, being a single woman, I was able to buy my own home. I was able to put my son through college, and I want to be that for my painters.
I love the gratification of being able to set people up for success, lead, educate. And if I dream big enough, then everyone else's dreams will fit in my dreams.
I love working. My mom and I have moments that we haven't shared ever, like even through our whole lives together. We've built something together, and we've experienced the worst together and the best together, and we're doing it together. That's the best part.
So I just want to set that expectation so that they understand production, so that they understand how to close out a job, so they understand our expectations.
When I hire people who've never painted, I always tell them, these men and women out there, your attitude is everything. I'll teach you how to paint, but this is how they put a roof over their head and their children through school. So be serious. Don't come here and act like it's just painting, because when it comes to a job, it's the only thing anyone's looking at.
Leaders create leaders, not followers. So when you create those leaders, you have to also enforce by delegating that stuff and being able to trust them. Are they going to do well acting on the best behalf of the company?
I was the first female commercial foreman in San Diego. There were no women in the business. I didn't see ever any other female painter, none. The women were secretaries. It took about 2 weeks for anyone to let me come onto their jobs. I would show up, the field superintendent would say, here's your new painter, Gillian, and they would kick me off their jobs. They didn't want the distraction, all men everywhere. And then I had to force the company to force the contractors to let me onto their jobs. Still to this day, I come up against superintendents that don't want to deal with me. And that's the hardest thing. I can be on a job where we're doing something and they talk to my male painter or my male wall covering installer and not even look me in the eye. And I have to, hello, it's me. I make all the decisions. I, can give you the answers.
You're going to get kicked down a little bit and you're going to pick right back up and take it as a challenge and drive forward. I think number one is having industry knowledge and understanding the business, understanding it from all sides. Get everything you can to learn. Read every paint can. Read every technical data sheet. Get out there, get your hands dirty. Be on those job sites. Don't be afraid of any of it. Really get dirty is what I would say. Just go out there and just get it.
You have to let them know that you've earned your seat at the table. And there are seats at that table for women, and you will be challenged, but it's definitely worth it. I think it's worth it. I had some of those same fears. I remember coming back from some of my first buyout meetings on some really large 6-figure projects. And I had my file and I walked in and it was a table of all men. And I was the one who worked on the project. I took the bid, I knew the numbers. I knew it better than anybody. By the end of the meeting, I had ended up talking more circles around them and had all my T's crossed and my I's dotted. And I really was proud that I had more answers than them. And I slowly started building my confidence that, I know just as much as they do and that I deserve to be at that table. As a business owner, one of the critical pieces of success is having a healthy partnership with manufacturers.
We partner with Behr using their amazing product line that is perfect for our high-end homeowners. They have recommended us for multiple jobs. We had an amazing custom home with 4 floors and an elevator over almost 8,000 square feet home. And we were able to use their products to give it the best finish. They're a great networking partner. So they help to provide leads.
The partnership with Behr is they provide a lot of support. They provide you a sales rep, that you have multiple stores you can purchase in, makes it very easy. You can call your orders in, makes it very easy. They'll take them from the plant and to your job site, which made it very, very easy. They'll provide you with leads, product knowledge, and the information it takes to understand the business at all levels.
So my relationship with Behr started when I had a project with them. It was a school, and the spec called for a pre-cat water-based epoxy. And at the time, Behr did not have this in their product line. And what I didn't expect is them taking it very seriously and assigning a scientist to it to formulate a pre-catalyzed water-based epoxy. It's neat because it holds the other manufacturers to a certain standard and expectation that I sometimes don't know if they otherwise would have gone out of their way to do.
I see myself as a service provider. So when it comes to paint reps, wall covering reps, film reps, whatever, FaceTime matters to me. And Behr, because my rep, Jeff, is here not only to tell me about new products or just dropping off drawdowns, he comes in independently of any work. So I feel like we've built a friendship also. I can call on them, get all the answers. So that's what makes me more loyal to the brand.
There are so many opportunities for women, and it's only becoming more advantageous for women to get into the industry because it is going to grow so much over the next few years with the market changing. It's going to change and grow even more. I feel like over the last 14 years in the industry, it is completely different.
I never would have thought I would have had the current opportunities I have now by way of painting, because it allows the flexibility, which is that quality of life. You don't have to be stuck handcuffed to the business. If you do it right, it can be financially very rewarding.
The amount of opportunity, if you look around, almost everything's painted. It's not going anywhere. It's maintenance. It doesn't matter if the houses are being built or not.
The paint industry is recession-proof, and there's not enough women in the trades. And I think more women should get in the trades. It's a great place to be. It gives you a lot of flexibility if you have a family and you need to be home at certain times. You will be very well received, because when it comes to working in women's homes, overwhelmingly, they would rather have a woman come in and work in their home or deal with another woman.
Women are really hard workers. I have 6 painters, and I never hear 6 women painters, and I never hear one complaint ever, 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 ever. They're the most requested by my foreman, and they want to please, so they're going to do it right.
I think that women would be pleasantly surprised how they'll be received. By being organized, prepared, and showing up and doing the work, that's what gets the recognition. That's what gets the respect.
You always want to be impeccable with your word. You always want to be heard, know your products, know what you're doing, and be proud, and don't let anyone, not anybody, tell you anything different. I think that is really the big thing. Own it. That's what you gotta do. You gotta own it.
We have to have a couple bloopers.
It's the same plane, the biplane with blue wings.
Who's the real boss?